Well, how's it going, you guys? And today we are going to be making onion stock. I am almost all out in my pantry, so I need to get some made, and I promised you guys I would bring you along with me the next time I make it. I know I have canned it with you guys, but I've never shown you how I make it. Now, onion stock, you know, you can make more of a vegetable stock if you wanted to add a little bit of carrot to it, a little bit of celery to it, and sometimes I do that, but today we're gonna keep it easy. We're just gonna do onion stock. I learned this from Wilhelm's Kitchen, Tina. I will leave her link up above to her video so you guys can go check that out. But I've been making this now the past few years, and it is my favorite stock to make. It goes with anything, so vegetarian, chicken, beef, pork, it doesn't matter. You can use this stock with it. I use it with my rice, so instead of using water when I make rice, I use onion stock. I use it, oh my gosh, I use it as my base for chili or anything you want, gravy. I mean, any place where you want to put some flavor instead of water, you can use your stock for. It's so easy to make. It is so delicious. It is my favorite, and it flies off my shelf because I use it so much. So today we are going to make it together. This video is going to be a two-parter. I'm going to make it with you today, and then it is going to slow cook. Today is Wednesday for me, so it's going to slow cook until Friday morning. Friday morning I will come back, and then I'm going to can it, and so that's going to be video number 2. So today we're going to make the stock. On Friday, we're gonna can the stock. I know I'm gonna get the question about using your Instant Pot. You know, to make stock, I like to can it. So I would say if you are not going to can your stock and you just wanna make a little stock, you know, a couple quarts, a couple pints, you know, you could use a 6-quart or an 8-quart. You might not get a lot depending on how many onions you add to it. But if you want to do that, you can definitely do that and store it in your fridge. I have a couple of friends that make stock and store it in their fridge because they don't can. If you're canning, however, and you want a nice amount on your pantry shelf, I would recommend a big stock pot first, if you have one. That's how I used to do it. Now, if you make it in a stock pot, you're gonna have to set it on your stove, which means it's gonna have to be on a low heat for a couple of days. I like to do it at least 24 hours, 36 ideal, 48 maybe even better, unless I'm doing a bone stock. If I'm doing a bone stock, I like to do at least 48 hours. But an onion stock is good after 24 hours. 36 is, I think, key. I think that's the best time to do it. So I'm starting this on a Wednesday afternoon, and so by Friday morning it will be ready to can up. I, however, am using my Ball electric canner. Now, I would say if you have one, definitely use this canner. It is perfect for making stock. However, if you don't have one, now is not the time to buy one because they are almost impossible to find along with every other canner out there. I've even found the $20 water bath canner right now is going for like $80. This is completely sold out on Amazon. It's completely sold out at Walmart, Bed Bath & Beyond. I looked everywhere for you guys yesterday. I was able to find it in a couple of different states, but they are not available online. You would have to go to the store. I think it was like a farm and feed store. So I would say if you really want to buy one, you have to get online. You have to search to see where it's available, where you live. I'm not going to be able to leave a link down below for you guys. I'm so sorry. I know you guys like the links. It makes it easier for you guys to find, but I cannot find this anywhere, at least in my state, that's available, and that's in Michigan. So I would say look it up. I'll leave this in the description box so you guys know exactly what you're going to be looking for. It is the Ball electric water bath canner. I love this thing. It is amazing for stock. So this is what I'm going to be using. But if you don't have one, just put a big stock pot on one of your back burners on low and let it cook that way. I've done it forever. You can also use a roaster. If you have like a turkey roaster, one of those big turkey roasters, you can use one of those to make stock in too. Those work really well. So This is a great way to use up any old onions that you have, which I have right here. These, I've got a couple of new bags, and these need to be used up, so no better way to use them up than to make stock out of them. So I'm gonna now sit you down, and we're gonna make the stock together. It's really easy. 4 ingredients. 4. All right, let's go. Okay, so here are the 4 ingredients. You're gonna need onions. Now you can buy onions in bulk too. Save some to cook with, and then save some for your stock. If you have onion scraps, you can use onion scraps for this. I like to use whole onions because I think it just adds a lot more flavor to it. But you can definitely save all of your scraps. You can do vegetable scraps too and make a vegetable stock as well. But for onion stock, I like to use whole onions. The only part of the onion I do not like using is the root side. I don't know, guys. I just feel like I can't get them clean enough, no matter how much I wash them or soak them. It just creeps me out a little bit, so I don't use that side. But if it doesn't creep you out, you know, go ahead and use them. I know many people that do. I also add to this, and let's see if I can get this to focus. I add ground turmeric into mine. This is a great anti-inflammatory. It's really good for your health. It gives the stock a beautiful golden color, and I love the taste. So I add ground turmeric to mine. You do not have to add this though if you don't want to. I also add some sea salt to this, and I also like to throw in some whole peppercorns. Again, I think it just adds a lot of flavor to the stock. So this is what I do. I'm gonna just kind of get you back over here. Now, I like to use the skins as long as the skins look pretty clean. I'm really kind of picky about the cleanliness of the foods that I use, okay? So this is what I like to do. I like to, I kind of cut out off a little bit of the other end too. If I just don't think I can just get that clean enough. So put those to aside. Then this skin for me looks really good. So what I do is I just cut this onion in half, okay? And I'm gonna just put it in a colander. And I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna wash these onions really well before I put them in my stock. I try to make them as clean as possible. That means the paper flakes off and you wash the paper, that's fine. Anything that's usable. The skins give the stock a beautiful color. So when you're able to, go ahead and use those skins. Like you see there's some dirt right there. We're gonna wash all that off, but in general that skin is beautiful and I'm gonna keep that. I just half my onions. If you're using the big giant onions, you might want to quarter them. I just think they cook down better, and I just like a lot of flavor in my onion stock. So but you can add any kinds of seasonings that you want. If there's something that you like the flavor of, go ahead and add it. If you want to add a bay leaf, sometimes I have in the past added bay leaves to my stock. That is an option as well. Any of this paper that I think will add to the color, I'm going to throw in and just wash up really well. So I'm going to go ahead and finish cutting up my onions. And then we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna wash these up. Okay, so now I'm gonna just kind of bring it over to the sink here. Hopefully you guys can see that okay. There we go. And then with cool water, I'm just gonna go ahead and wash these up really well. That means removing some of the skin to get to any kind of dirt that's underneath. That's what I'll do. If I find that anything is too blemished or too dirty that I can't really clean it, I just get rid of it. I just want to make sure that my stock is as clean as possible. So I'll peel off the skin and I'll give this a nice good wash. You can again do this too if you freeze your onions, and just give that a nice wash. And then I'm going to go ahead and just throw these as I wash them right into my stock pot. So Very easy. See, you just peel that skin up and just really get it really washed out well. And if you choose not to do this, that's totally up to you. You know, you're making your own stock. You do what you're comfortable with. I just like to really give these a good wash. You might lose a little bit of the onion juice, but because we're doing this with whole onions and not just onion skins, you will get an amazing flavor, trust me. So with that skin off, give it a good rinse. All right, so let me finish doing all of this, and then we will move on to the next step here. Again, really easy to make, you guys. It's almost embarrassing making you this video. Okay, now that we have our onions in there, and I am using about 10 medium onions. I would say 8 to 12 is what I like to do when I'm doing onion stock. I like my onion stock to be pretty full of flavor, so that's about the amount that I want. But you know what? If you only have 6 to 8, say you only have 6 onions, throw in some carrots, throw in some celery, add, you know, make it more of a vegetable stock. We're gonna be canning this under the vegetable stock timing anyway, if you're gonna can it. If you're not canning it and you're just sticking it in your fridge, you don't even have to worry about that. But this is, you know, this is the way that I like to use up leftover onions, and I find 8 to 12 the best. So we're going to be using 10 today. And now what I'm doing is I'm adding just cold water right to my pot. I am going to make sure though that this is, if you do have this stock pot, make sure that the plug is in, because you don't want this leaking out of your spigot, right? So we're going to close that, and now we're just going to go ahead and fill this up with cold water, and then we will add the seasonings once all that is done, and I'll bring you back when we get to that part. Okay. So there we have it. I fill this all the way up to the max line, just slightly under, just to leave some space for the onions. But I do fill this all the way to the max. This is a 23 quart, I do believe, if I remember correctly. All right, now once we have our water in here, I'm gonna go ahead and actually I'm gonna add the salt first. So I add about a tablespoon of sea salt to this. I add about a tablespoon, maybe a heaping tablespoon of, I'm using a peppercorn medley, but it can be black, it can, you know, black pepper, totally up to you. I just like putting peppercorns in here. I think it just adds a really good flavor to this. If you have any kind of green onions as well, like scallions or something like that, you can add that to this too. It's really good. And then I like to add 2 heaping tablespoons of the ground turmeric. So there goes that. And then I do have an official stock wooden spoon that I use. I'm going to go ahead and give this a nice stir and just make sure that all of that turmeric is kind of incorporated in here. And you can see how pretty the color already is. Wait until this slow cooks over the next day or two, and it's gonna be so pretty. So that is it. Like I said, feel free to add whatever you want to this. If you want to add a bay leaf or 2 in here, anything you want, you can add to this. So now I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna take you off of my coffee grinder. And I'm going to show you here, I am going to turn this all the way up to high, okay? We're not going to use the canning settings, but I am going to turn this to high. I'm going to let this heat up. I'm going to let this come to a boil. When this comes to a boil, I will then turn it down onto low, about a notch above the low. And then that's where I will let it slow cook until Friday. Like I said, it's Wednesday, early afternoon right now. It's a little afternoon. So I'm gonna let this go until Friday morning, when I'm gonna bring you guys back for part 2, where I'm gonna go ahead and strain this, and we're gonna go get it in jars and we're gonna can it. So I'm gonna let that come up to a boil. I'm gonna go ahead and put the lid on this. And that's it, you guys. It's that easy, right? Super simple. And it's going to be your most used stock, I think. It's my most used stock. It is my go-to for everything. With that, I will say have a great day. I will see you back here on Friday when we go ahead and can this up. And I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you give this a try. Let me know if you do. Leave it down below in the comment section if you make this or if you plan on making this. And if you do, let me know what you think. I love this stock. So, all right, I'll see you guys on Friday.